this video, we're going to learn Pythagorean Theorem. So in a right triangle, the side opposite the right angle is the longest, and it is called the hypotenuse. So we can see here's the right angle, and if I go across from that, here's the hypotenuse. Okay, so we just want to go straight across to the other side there, and we call that side C. The other two sides of the triangle are called the legs. So you can see I said leg B and leg A. Doesn't matter which one is leg A and which one is leg B. They're the two sides that create the 90. Okay, so I could have said this is leg A and this is leg B, but I just went with what they had labeled already for A and B. So the lengths of these sides are related by an important theorem called Pythagorean Theorem, which states that A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So if I take the length of A and I square it, and I add that to the length of B squared, it's going to be the same as taking the length of C and squaring that. So I can definitely find a missing piece here if I have at least two of the sides. So let's go ahead and try this out. So for the following right triangle, find the side length. So first, here's the right angle, and here's the hypotenuse. Let's label this first. So I go straight across, and here's hypotenuse, which is my side C. That's my longest side. So now I'm going to label my sides. So here's leg A and here's leg B. It would not have mattered if I made this leg B and this leg A. I just decided because I'm just saying these are the two sides that make the 90-degree angle. So now I can use A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So now I have 20 squared for A, 21 squared for B, and then C squared, well, they told me that was X, so I'm doing X squared. So now to do 20 squared, I'm going to show you how to do this on a calculator. So on a calculator, this is on a smart phone type calculator, but this would look very similar on the calculators in class. It may be in a different spot, but what you're going to look for is this symbol here. So you're going to type your number in, and then you're going to click that button. And what it's going to do is it's going to automatically square it for you. So if you click that button, it'll show you that 20 squared is 400. And what the calculator is doing is 20 times 20. This does not mean 20 times 2. It means 20 times itself 2 times, so 20 times 20. So same thing with 21. We go 21 squared, 21 times 21, and that's 441. So now I have my two pieces, and if you notice, X squared just came down. So I'm going to add these together. So I have 841 equals X squared. Now this is where I have to do what's called the square root, because I don't want to know what X squared is. I want to know what just X is, just this length. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So again, let's go back to our calculator. So we type in 841, and now for me, it's right underneath the X squared. It may be in a slightly different spot on the calculator. You just need to look for it. It's going to have an X under the square root sign. It may or may not have the 2. The 2 is actually assumed to be there, so sometimes it's blank. But it'll either have a 2 or nothing at all there, and that means square root. And you click that button, and we'll get the square root, which is 29. So what that means is it's 29 times 29 to get to 481. Basically, I'm asking the question, what did I multiply by itself to get to 481? Well, I multiplied 29 by itself. Right, 29 times 29. All right, so we can look at the next one. We have another one very similar to this. So we have our right angle. We're going to go across from that and label our hypotenuse. And now we're going to go, here's leg A, and here's leg B. So again, the leg A and B, you can swap those out. This could be B, this could be A. We just want to make sure those are the two sides that create that 90-degree angle. All right, so now I'm going to go A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So A, I have as 10. So 10 squared. My B this time is X squared. And C, which is always, that's the longest side there, that's my 19 squared. So now if I do 10 times 10, I get 100. So that's 10 squared. The X squared is just going to come down because I can't do that yet. But 19 squared, I would do 19 times 19 or hit that squared button and I get 361. So now I need to move this 100 over to the other side so I can get X squared all by itself. So I'm going to subtract 100 for both sides. So I get X squared equals 261. And now I'm at that point where I don't want to know what X squared is. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So I go to my calculator, I type in 261, and I click that square root button. Okay, and that'll give me a long decimal. Now, if you notice on the instructions on this one, they're actually giving us rounding instructions. So round your answer to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so hundredth is 2 decimal places out. So I'm going to look at the very next one. Since it's 5 or bigger, I'm going to round up to 6. So 16.16. All right, so that is Pythagorean theorem. I hope that helped, and I will see you on the next video.